And here I am again, Patrice Bouidibila for Panasonic Live at IFA 2012 in Berlin. This segment will be dedicated to the LUMIX, but prior to that, I would like to carry on with my interview with two gentlemen from the National Geographic Channel. Why is that? And what is it that what has that to do with Panasonic in general? Well, it has to do with the fact that Panasonic is having a partnership between the company itself and UNESCO. Why? Because Panasonic has made the environment central to all of its business activities and aims to be the #1 green innovation company within the electronics industry in 2018. Which is not a coincidence, it marks the 100th anniversary of the company itself. And therefore, part of their strategic partnership with the UNESCO World Heritage Center, they are also sponsoring a TV program called the World Heritage Special on National Geographic Channel. And today I would like to continue my brief interview with Mr. Simeon Daus, who is Senior Vice President for Advertising Sales of National Geographic Channel, and Mr. Mark Francis, the Executive Producer of National Geographic Channel. And we have a little feedback. Simon, welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So you had some time to enjoy Berlin a bit?
Yeah, it was good. We went and had a nice meal.
You had a nice
Saw some
meal?
landmarks. It was very nice.
Sauce?
Landmarks.
Landmarks?
Yeah.
So
nice buildings, museums.
I really believe it must be hard to impress you guys because you're so familiar with like the most impressive places on this planet.
No,
Berlin's top of my list after today, I have to say. It's absolutely stunning.
I just say that just to please me, but I like that. I like that attitude. Simon, once again, like, what does the National Geographic Channel stand for?
Sure. So if you actually took it back to the society itself, which is where the channel was derived, one of their missions is to inspire people to care about the planet.
Yeah.
And I think that that's very much held with National Geographic Society today, and that's very much what we've taken on as a brand in terms of where we want to position ourselves in a lot of our programming. There's no doubt that we've now turned more into an entertainment company, so our breadth has gone a little bit wider than that. But yeah, absolutely, inspiring people to care about the planet.
But it sounds negative. Is it a negative thing to be entertaining when it comes to talking
about
some
not at all.
serious
I mean,
issues?
at the end of the day, we're a television network. We need to be entertaining. If we're not entertaining, our viewers aren't going to watch us. And I think, true to the point of how we're going about approaching the programming for National Geographic World Heritage Special this year, Access 360, we're taking a slightly more contemporary approach. It's not so academic. It's not the old school of telling the story about World Heritage Sites because we want to garner more viewers. It's all about audience. It's all about ratings. And if viewers aren't watching it and enjoying watching it, then they're not going to come back.
And about this partnership now with Panasonic, because apparently you seem to have also the same interest in the world.
Absolutely. So look, from our perspective, having Panasonic and UNESCO join forces and come to us and ask us to be their global media partner, one is a huge honour, but practically works incredibly well for us. If we were to look at the history of National Geographic, obviously we've had a history with UNESCO through the society, through the Maps division, and we've created many hours of content prior to. So it's a natural extension of where our brand is. It's an expectation from our audience that it's the type of content we'll have. So all in all, with the breadth of our channel, it ties it up very well as a nice partnership.
So what is it really that you are aiming for when it comes to the way that you display the world? Is it really that you just have, because you know for very impressive pictures in general, is that the aim by showing beautiful pictures that people should start thinking about it and preserving it? Or do you also like to show the other side that people know, what's going to be in the future there if we're not going to be careful with our planet?
I don't think that personally people respond well to very preachy kind of storytelling or didactic storytelling. We don't want to go up there on a pulpit and say, if you don't do this, the Taj Mahal will disappear in 20 years. I mean, that may very well be true, but that's never really, certainly not the approach of the series. We've made a very conscious decision to show the passion that people have for preserving these sites, and not necessarily people that are directly connected with World Heritage. It might be, say, a tourist vendor working the Taj Mahal to someone whose life literally depends on these World Heritage sites. And it's only through human characters and emotion that I believe you can get people to care about these sites and get people to understand why they're culturally significant.
As you just mentioned, the Taj Mahal, which is also part of the World Heritage. I've learned today that there are over 900 spots when it comes
Yes.
to World Heritage, and you chose for your program 9 out of these 900. But what was your twist this time, just to come in with a new angle? Because the
Sure.
Taj Mahal, I've seen it on
Sure.
so many postcards before. What was your approach this time, just to make it new and notable?
Notable, right. Look, the first thing I'd say is, when you deal with a subject like World Heritage sites,
Yeah.
these are physical buildings. Television is not about static. Television is about movement and action. So we knew just from a producer perspective that the stories had to have action and had to therefore be very character driven. And that's how we got the emotion across. And to your point, you're exactly right. We took iconic sites but found very fresh angles and what we call a contemporary hook, so that audiences would come to Taj Mahal and say, oh, I know this building. So you leverage the familiar and the popular, but you present something new. Now, specifically in the case of, say, we've got some footage from the Amazon behind us. It's called the world's green lung because it absorbs so much carbon dioxide. But the very contemporary issue they're facing now is that balance may tip. So the Amazon may actually end up becoming a greater contributor of carbon dioxide because dying rainforests actually emit more carbon dioxide, which people don't know about. So when you delve into the story, you'll see that it's very contemporary, very up-to-date. With the Taj Mahal, what we did was, that was just a shot that you saw from behind the scenes, some behind-the-scenes footage. What we did is we looked into the story of these people who are now doing the first 3D scans of the Taj. It's a survey, the architectural survey of the Taj, which they never had before.
What is the benefit of doing so?
I'm sorry?
What is the benefit of doing so?
In order to conserve it, they need to really understand its foundations and its structure better. Because historically, the Taj Mahal was not meant to be entered by land, which every tourist goes. It was built on the banks of the river Yamuna. So the foundations of the Taj, they're quite a unique system that relied on this river, a river that has since dried up, partly because of environmental issues. So the question we asked in the Taj, which is quite provocative, is it actually potentially sinking, or is it tilting on its foundations? So you get a very action-packed, investigation into something very contemporary. And I think, for me, the most important thing is to look at World Heritage sites not as a history lesson, but as something that is very much, topical and relevant to our lives today. So that's how I think we try to make it.
But still, I wouldn't understand where to start, because what you just mentioned there, I mean, I would never had the idea just to start looking there in the basement, if it's sinking, if it's stagnating, or anything like that. Who gives you these kind of hints? Is it social networking? A friend of yours is giving you, by the way, I just found out, or is there a library that you can look through just to find these kinds of information?
Some of it is, sometimes you see theories on the internet, academic institutions sometimes publish reports, but the old-fashioned way is still the best, which is you've got to make phone calls, you've got to knock on doors, you've got to meet people as you do your research. We found out about the Taj story in India through the University of Notre Dame. So, it may not be a very direct route, but that's just the hard work of doing a lot of actual research.
And while shooting, have there been any difficulties? I mean, is it that you just come in with your business card from National Geographic and they're like, oh yeah, please go ahead, shoot whatever you want, or is it sometimes a little bit far more complicated?
I don't think it's been that easy.
Yeah, it does help. I think the National Geographic name certainly helps. We have a great partnership with respected brands as well, with Panasonic and with UNESCO. That certainly helped open doors, but that still doesn't mean that the person you're asking to expose their life story to you in a very limited amount of time is necessarily going to be very open. So it is a challenge to gain that trust. In some of this behind-the-scenes footage you see here, for example, this is actually in the real tomb. That's the tomb of Shah Jahan and Mumtaz, the empress, that every tourist goes there. And one thing that happened during production, we were very lucky because those are not the real tombs. The real tombs are actually underneath a trapdoor. And it's almost never open to cameras. But because of National Geographic, because of our credibility, we were allowed to go in and actually film the tombs. So there was an image you saw earlier of a traditional craftsman replacing some of the gemstones on the tomb. That's actually the real tomb that most tourists don't get to see.
Yeah, but now people are just going to be very mad about it. It's like, oh, no, 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 no. I just watched National Geographic.
Correct. Yeah.
I know that this is the fake tomb. I want to go see the new one. I mean, that's going to cause some new problems.
Well, yeah, I think we'll be okay.
You'd be like, no, we're not going to tell the world about
Yeah,
it.
we didn't show exactly where the trapdoor was, so I think.
Well, you should tell me the next time that I'm going to be, if I ever going to make it over there.
Absolutely.
Also, I'm just reading here about this one story where you had a rare shot of a dolphin, a boto dolphin. What's a boto dolphin?
They're river dolphins. They're endemic to the Amazon River.
Yeah.
They're pink in color, and they are certainly endangered. In the Amazon, there's like 2 seasons. You don't have 4 seasons. You have very wet and very dry. So we filmed during the very wet season where it's raining every day. There are no roads, so our crew has to travel by boat, like 1,000 kilometers, I think we covered during that production. And I think it was on one of the last days, the director of photography cameraman was kind of sleeping in the boat and sort of heard this sound. And he just woke up, and then all of a sudden there's a small pod of boto dolphins that literally popped out of the water.
And you immediately knew this is a boto dolphin?
Yeah, they're very distinct because they're pink. Yeah, there are not too many pink big dolphins around. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Then I also would have seen it as a boto dolphin.
Yeah.
Something else. I mean, what's very impressive when it comes to your work, it's like the imagery. It's great pictures and all of that. So I was kind of surprised, because maybe you can tell us something about that. May I have this camera? While in New York, you were shooting with the GH2, which, okay, it's a coincidence. It's a Panasonic, but how come that you're working with these kind of cameras?
Look, I mean, cameras like this are extremely useful in modern factual production. You know, we're constantly under a lot of pressure with time, firstly. Secondly, you know, we can't afford to have 3 large crews running around with big cameras. So it's very common, and the cameras like the LUMIX GH2 actually perform very well under these conditions, where we shoot, some of which you'll see now on screen.
This is actually the footage of...
Yeah. We don't use it, obviously, as the main video camera, but it plays a very important role as a supplementary camera. So we take footage. So I can shoot a lot of time lapses, close-ups of people like that. You know, I can shoot, big, wide, what we call scene setters or general video, whilst my main crew is getting an interview with a character or doing some handheld work. So it's actually very complementary and allows us to make our shoots very efficient. So, I mean, it performed really well, so we're really happy with the results. And some of this footage will be incorporated into the episode on Statue of Liberty. I would say that the other thing is this camera made particular sense for us to use in New York, because the story of the Statue of Liberty is one of security issues. Ever
right
since,
now?
Yeah, right now.
Okay.
So they've undergone a massive renovation project. What happened is after 9/11, security rulings made the Statue of Liberty a lot sort of harder to get to, and I think some of the features within the Statue of Liberty weren't deemed safe enough. So therefore, they've had to refurbish the place. So in a place like that, where you're working with high security and people are a bit nervous, then small cameras like that are obviously a lot more comfortable to use and draw less attention. So that was another reason we used it to supplement our shoot.
Yeah, but I would say I'm quite impressed also of the footage. So
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the GH2 anyway, so it was interesting just to see like what the guys from National Geographic have to say about that. The series will start in September.
Yep.
It includes 9 episodes. The first one will be in the Amazonas. What's going to be next then?
The Taj Mahal.
The Taj Mahal.
In October.
Which one we talked about? And when would be the New York episode?
The Kyoto comes after that, and then
New York
Statue
is
of Liberty is the fourth episode.
So there's a chance to watch it, of course, on the National Geographic channel. The other option would be, as demonstrated earlier, to see it via Viera Connect. There's an application dedicated to this one, and every month there's going to be a new episode being shown. Other than that, the chance would be just to see your program via Facebook. Where is that we will find you on Facebook?
Yeah, we have updates on Facebook of where you can view the program. In terms of actually being able to view the program there, no, but obviously we'll direct you to where all of the programming times are.
Well, so I'm going to be one of your new followers. And
Yeah,
I'm really
send us
looking
some
forward to
comments.
definitely. I'm really looking forward to it, especially also like when it comes to the Statue of Liberty. I don't know how many times I've been in New York. but I've never managed just to go to the Statue of Liberty. So this is just already by what you've been telling me about the Taj Mahal, I now feel like more and more interested just to see like, what you have to offer, considering the facts on behalf of the Statue of Liberty. So thank you so much for coming to Berlin just for the end.
You're welcome.
Wish you best of luck.
Thank you.
Time.
Simon Dawes and Mark Francis from the National Geographic Channel. Thank you so much.
Thank you.